This is for you. Learn how to mod. Oh yeah. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Evil Breed coming at you with a new series of videos. If you can't tell by looking, well, guess what? We are playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Okay, now I'm not actually going to be doing a Let's Play because, well, most of you have probably already played Skyrim or watched somebody play Skyrim or played it 1,000 hours like I have. What I'm actually going to do, sit up in my chair, is I'm going to help you guys out by learning how to mod. So this is literally a vanilla run of Skyrim. It has the HD texture pack installed from Bethesda, okay? That is all that's in it. No mods are in it right now. Zero. No mods. Nothing. And as the series of video progresses, we're going to install different mods, and I'll walk you guys through the process of how to do it. Today, we're actually going to talk about ENBs and the Skyrim script extender, okay? So, let's go ahead, and I'm just going to create a very basic character. Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not even gonna fuck with this shit, because we can do it later, or, you know, we can pretty much, you know, sort it out. Like, only thing I normally change is just a terrible fucking haircut. I'll make them bald, or I'll give them that really bad mohawk. You know, that's pretty much it, and then give them a beard. Real men have beards. Exhibit A. Nah, it's not always true. Alright, but anyway. So we got a Nord. We're gonna call. We're gonna finish name this guy. We're gonna call him Modern Joe. So yeah, those that haven't played Skyrim, you'll definitely see. You know, you can actually see here on the screen. You see the two different, you know, NPCs here. They both kind of look like fucking potatoes. That is one thing we will be installing at one point. Is we'll be installing a simple mod that allows us to alter how terrible these NPCs look, you know, and they're just bad. So here's what we're going to go ahead and do. Since it just auto-saved, we are going to create a physical save. Actually, no, I just already got one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the game to desktop. Okay? Two things we need to do right away. Alright? First things first, what we need to do is click play on Skyrim, go into the options on your game. Regardless of what your settings are, set that son of a bitch on windowed full screen. So whatever your native resolution is, and on windowed mode, okay? Reason for it is when you alt-tab out of Skyrim, it is real finicky, and when you start putting mods in, you're going to run into some severe issues, guys, okay? Alright, now that we've installed that software, now that we've turned on the windowed mode for Skyrim and we've run it, because you do have to run it once, okay? We're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the modding software, and what we're going to be using today is the Nexus Mod Community. So it's just nexusmods.com. There will be a link, obviously. If you go to nexusmods.com/games, it'll pull up a list of all the games. Number one, of course, is Skyrim. Okay, this thing has so many freaking mods, okay? Now, real quick, what we are going to do is we are going to look at the most endorsed files of all time, non-adult. If you want adult mods, go ahead and install them. I don't care. Actually, since we're literally just doing ENB today, I'll probably just do that. Let's just go with that. Fuck it. So you once you're in Nexus Mods, you go to Files, you go to Categories. From Categories, you're going to see a big comprehensive list of all the different things. Skyrim's got tons and tons of mods, but you want ENB preset. Now, the most popular, obviously, is Vision ENB. This is a great ENB if you want to get some good screenshots, but it's not great for actually playing. I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. Even on a GTX 1070 that I run, that ENB with some mods will actually give you anywhere from 40 to 50 frames fluctuation. You will lose frames with this ENB. It's a guaranteed. They're like, oh well, blah blah. No, you will. It doesn't fucking matter. There's countless different ENBs you can run. If you have a lower end system, I would highly recommend Tethro tetrachromatic ENB. It's a vibrant fantasy style ENB. It actually doesn't require any of the lighting mods for it to work properly, okay? All you actually have to do is just install this, install the other software we're going to do today, and then go from there. And since I'm mentioning that now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our software. Now, get to our Skyrim source file. So what you do is you open up your hard drive you have it installed on. It'll be Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and then the game. This is the actual install file for Skyrim, okay, guys? So you want to find that. It's whatever. Mine's installed on a solid state because I installed my single players to solid state that I mod, so that the load times are a little faster. But Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and then the game. So as you can see, like here, I've got Fallout 4 here. I've got Far Cry Primal here. Games that would normally have a pretty tremendous load time are installed on this solid state drive. So now that we've got Skyrim here, you're going to need this. Just leave it open. Minimize that window. Let's go ahead and let's pick an ENV. We're going to go real simple. Let's go ahead and just go with True Vision today. Real Vision is nice. Don't get me wrong. I like Real Vision, but I don't like losing 20 or 30 frames and not being able to sit at 60 frames per second. Now, most of these screenshots that they show off are being taken with the ENB, but they are in conjunction with a fuckload of mods also installed. Best example right here is this guy's using Bijan War Maidens or Bijan Wives, and he's using an armor texture, and he's using CBBE, and he's using true eyes and eyelashes, and new lips, and new hair, and new weapons, and new lighting. So he's like, oh look, this is what the ENB can do. No, that is not what the ENB can do. This is what you can do with a shitload of mods in Skyrim. This is probably a better example of what the ENB can do. This right here, I hate it when people do that. They take screenshots of fucking characters that are heavily modded, like Serena, and this is a modded armor, a modded character, a modded hairstyle, a modded lighting mod, you know, modded weapons. It's like, it's not a good screenshot. Like that's pretty much Vanilla Dragon. That's pretty much, you know, a vanilla area, pretty much. So you want to, this right here, Grass mods, we'll go over these two, but this is not something I'd recommend unless you want really cool screenshots. But we'll go over those much later. But anyway, now that we've picked an ENB, what you want to do is you want to look at what it has. Like this author, normally he's showing, I've done some stuff for The Witcher, I've done some stuff for Deus Ex, Mass Effect, some videos that featured his ENB, and then you actually want to find his either recommended textures, always good to have, and features of the ENB, good to read. But find the installation section. Now there's a few reasons why, because you have to, they're always going to do this. Actually, you won't, most of the time in the files section you can find it too, but what you want to do from the main page is find the installation section. Most mod authors will do this. They'll actually set that up so that you can go in here. So first thing he says is you need to download the ENB binary files at Mod Skyrim 0292. So you click on the link. Actually, hold on, let me open that in a new tab. I'm sorry. Alright, so you open that up in a new tab. This is 0292. There's actually a newer version. It's 03.3. I'm actually going to download that one anyway, just to show you guys. The website is ENBDEV.com. Once again, will be a link in the description. ENBDEV.com is how you get ENB binaries for just about any of the moddable games. As you can see here, ENB injectors, conversions, some patches for different games, and then of course all your binaries. Skyrim, Oblivion, Shadow Warrior, Serious Sam, you know, all the Grand Theft Auto games, all the Fallout games. So we go ahead and do TES Skyrim, and we're going to do 3.08. This is the newest. Now there is some stuff you have to do here, okay? You have to change some settings inside your INI file, and it says it right there. You need to read shit, okay? If there's shit there, I don't expect you to read all of this, but this first paragraph, you need to change this code. This version requires the helper mod to run the pre-weather setups. If not, ignore the helper mod. Download the link in the README, and then you need to go into your Skyrim Prefs INI file. So we're going to open up a new file explorer, and from here you actually go to Documents. Okay. From Documents you go to My Games. You find the game, Skyrim in this case, and you will find Skyrim Prefs. Let me go ahead and minimize this one. Now that we're in Skyrim Prefs, we're going to go ahead and find the float point render target, okay? So you can just press Control F and you could copy it. Normally if you hit the first thing, okay. So there you go. Float point render target is 0. Now, for those that don't know the basics of binary coding, 0 is off, 1 is on. So if you see something that has a 0 next to it, it means it's turned off. You can turn it on. That's what ENBs do, is they modify all this shit. Now, what you do is, we've got that turned on. It says also start the Skyrim launcher to configure your video options once again. And skylighting to work correctly, objects on shadows, you have to add the following lines. Trees receive shadows 1, draw land shadows 1, and shadows on grass 1. So all you do is scroll all the way down, press enter, paste that in, okay? So go ahead and save this file, close it out. Now it did say go ahead and relaunch Skyrim launcher. So options, make sure everything's still turned on. As you can see, like I said, I've set my game on ultra settings as high as it fucking possibly can go. And boom. Okay. So go ahead and exit that. We'll close this out. Back to this. Now that's just the setup for the ENB. Now what we have to do is we have to download the file. So we go ahead, we're going to download the ENB series from Skyrim. Actually, while it's going, I'm just going to start this download real quick in the background. And then I'm also going to... Wow, they've got so many. Well, we'll go over that. Fuck it. Anyway, ENB series binaries. So the injector version is... it's for older systems, or if you have a laptop that doesn't want to function with ENBs, you can run one of those. Now, always check your install files, your readmes. Go look at them. It says right here in English, extract the files from the folder wrapper version or injector version into your game folder. If you wish to use the injector version as a workaround for third-party software or laptops, run the exe. Warning, do not manually run ENB host. It will automatically start if memory manager is activated in enblocal.ini, which we just did. So you want to grab all the files. You probably don't need to grab the text files, just so you guys know. So let's go ahead and grab everything. We don't need sample ENB raindrops, but fuck it, we'll put it in there just because it says copy all of it. And where we're putting it is directly on this Skyrim folder. It's my shit. There we go. So all you do is just drag and drop. Boom. It's going to paste it in there. It may pop up a window that says, do you want to, replace anything in this folder? If it does, say yes. It's not hard. Just say yes. All right. Now that we've got that, what we're going to go ahead and do, that is the binaries for the ENB. That is the most important part of an ENB, because if without that, it won't function. So now we're going to find the True Vision ENB. So what we need to actually go ahead and do is this right here, True Vision ENB 0.292, the updated version. Go ahead and open that up. Now, I'm doing a manual install right now. You can, of course, do a install on some of these through the Nexus Mod Manager. We'll cover that in our next video. Like I said, today we're just doing the simple stuff. We're doing an ENB, and we're basically going to alter the game as far as it looks. Anyway, now what we gotta go ahead and do is, see this thing right here? Float render, draw land shadows, draw trees. They the same thing as before. Also, it does say here, you have to disable the anti-aliasing in Skyrim Launcher. So before we even go forward with this, open this up, go to your options, and turn off anti-aliasing. You can leave anisotropic filtering on if you have the appropriate GPU for it. But anti-aliasing is actually taken care of by the ENB. This guy even has a brightness settings picture that we'll pull up here that shows you, because he says in his little document, turn the brightness all the way down. And there you go. Turn the brightness in the game all the way down. Okay? So, now you want to go ahead. You can, he says, to say, optional, put his recommended mods in there. Load your game, turn the brightness all the way down. Okay. So, here's what we're going to go ahead and do now. We are going to extract this. So, let's find the install. Installation, extract the contents of main files to your Skyrim folder. So all this, you will see some stuff that probably is doubled up. It's okay. So replace the files in this destination. And it's going to be running that shit because it just wants to be a pain in the ass. What the hell? Now, I do want to make mention that sometimes you'll actually get problems with d3d9.dll. My virus protection software, for some reason, wants to think it's a virus. It is not a virus, okay, guys? So, for no reason at all, do not think that that is a virus, okay? Now, what we are going to do here as well is you see how he has a data folder, okay? So, data folder. Well, let's go ahead and let's go into our data folder. We're going to drag and drop this information in there, which is adding revamped fog, darker dungeons, ENB snow. Boom. All right. And then VRAM, you can actually, this is so that you can detect, you know, most users believe that their video memory is all you have, but a driver allows you to use some of your system memory, blah, blah, blah. Basically, this is a tool to trick your drivers to give you more VRAM. Do you need that? No. If you're watching my video, we're going to do that stuff, so don't even worry. So what we do at that point is we actually go ahead and, oh shit, sorry. Let's go back into those main files since it didn't want to copy the one file I need. Alright, so you go to ENB local, okay? As you can see here in ENB local, it's just like that other one. Some people go, oh, you got to use Notepad 2.0. Notepad 1.0 works fine for me. But see how it says here, video memory size megabytes? You have to put in that box just how much memory you have. So if you don't know, you can always look it up. You know, so you just go to Google and say VRAM 1070. Okay? And it tells you exactly how much you have by going to the website. You know, my card has 8 gigs. Each gig is 1024 megabytes. Okay, so if you need help with that, I mean, yeah, you got a calculator. I don't know exactly. I mean, 1024 times 8? Shit. I don't know, let's figure it out. Shit, it worked. There we go. So it's 8,192. Let's just round it down to an even 8,000. Okay? So that's 8,000 megabytes of available memory that my graphics card can provide for this ENB. And you have to change that. You need to save it and close it, okay? And on this one here, once you've made any changes, always save it and close it. Those, I mean, we saved the INI file, so we're good there. Alright, now that we've got that going on in the Skyrim folder, we've got the ENB installed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to download the Skyrim script extender. This allows you to install mods that that may require the Skyrim script extender, or mods that completely change the game, or things of that nature. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do at this point. So now leave the Skyrim folder open. We're going to leave that open and let it run. Alright, so now what you're going to do is go to Google, type in Skse. It first hit is, what is the Skyrim script extender? It's skse.silverlock.org. Go to that. You've got a few different things you can do. You can install it via Steam. You can download the installer. You can get the Z7 archive with the README, all that fun stuff. I normally just grab the installer. Simplest thing. I don't like the Steam version because I don't download mods on Steam. Okay? So, here's what we're going to go ahead and do. You're going to go ahead and open that sumbitch up. And it's going to take a second. I mean, my computer's running a little slower because I'm downloading a game right now. But there you go. Now see, it's grabbed the Skyrim library, Steam library on the E drive, Steam apps, common, and Skyrim. If that's not right, change that obviously. It only requires a megabyte. So go ahead and it'll install Skse Core and the desktop shortcut. Boom. Done. It's the easiest thing in the world, okay? So there you go. Skyrim Skse is now on my desktop. And if we look here, there's the Skse loader right there. It's installed that with its DLLs. Alright? So that's the Skyrim script extender. That is True Vision ENB. Let's go ahead and let's launch Skyrim and see if it runs for us. I mean, that's what modding's really all about, right? It's about making sure everything works. Now, I'm hoping that it doesn't fuck up because I changed it to windowed mode. Looks like it did fuck up. Great. Well, there you go. Like I said, it's hit or miss. Like, I mean, there is a mod you can install that creates the fake bordered windowed mode. So, you know, we can definitely do that mod. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to change that setting real fast. That's what modding's all about. It's trial and error, guys. Trial and error. So, you just launch this. Go into your options. Turn off the windowed mode. You know, you can crank your resolution as high as you want it. I don't run the DSR that often, just because I don't really care. Alright, now just relaunch Skyrim Skse. I'll have to deal with just the stupidity of tabbing out of it for now. I mean, I hate it, but whatever. So what we're going to do at this point is we are going to go ahead and we're launching Skyrim. It does take a little bit of time to relaunch Skyrim when you've installed a ENB, because it's launching Skyrim with the D3 DLL and with the ENB booster, okay? And that's why you see that the load takes a second, even though it's on a fucking hard, it's on a solid state. It's going to take a second to boot up. But once it's booted up, we're going to go ahead and just press continue. See how you're getting all this weird crap in the corner? That's the ENB telling you when it's running. You'll get normally errors if something's wrong. It'll actually tell you this not turned on, B float point render, or you didn't set the shadows appropriately. But there we go. That's what Skyrim looks like now, just with the ENB. Now, I'm going to just keep talking, play through this bullshit intro, at least until we get inside, so you guys can see the difference. But also, like he said, launch Skyrim, go into display, turn the brightness down. See, it looks a lot better now. See shadows, you got dynamics, depth of field, so it gives you a much more cinematic look when you look at things. As you can see, like, I'm looking at Tullius, so Tullius is in view, or he's in view. You know, if I look at this guy, everybody else fades out. You know, look up there, stuff that is close to you will slightly fade out, depending on the ENBs, depending on how good it looks. You can always make lots and lots of changes to your ENB by pressing Shift Enter. That's the standard command to bring up the ENB series. As you see my frames, it says it's 43 frames per second. Guess what? Unfortunately, that's common. I'm not gonna lie. But you can go through here, you can turn on all this shit if you want. You can, like, enable everything. As you see, like, you know, it can make the game brighter, it can make the game darker. It's really up to you. Sometimes these FPS limiters work. Most of the time they don't, unfortunately. So if you want to try and get it locked at 60, you can try, but I seriously doubt it's going to function for you. Once you've done that, Shift Enter. I push tilde just so I can move the cursor around, because it's a little spinning hourglass. Like these fools. I wish, you know, I always install a mod to skip this stuff, because once you're modding the game, unfortunately, there is something that's going to happen. You are going to run into issues where the game itself will crash, because this is a heavily scripted event where events need to happen a certain way, and installing mods can change that. So what you actually want to do normally is you want to run the mod Live Another Life, and you know, of course, you can go from there. Yeah, I mean, I'm already missing the blood mod. I mean, normally when you cut somebody's head off with the blood mod, it actually sprays blood, and there's pools and shit, and you know, there ain't nothing.
Did you hear that?
I said next prisoner.
Hurry the fuck up. Apologize, you know, you're having to sit through this Skyrim intro since you've probably seen it half a dozen times. But as soon as you can get up, you can actually run really fast to the actual thing. So I just want to get there, and then we can see what it looks like indoors, okay? Because ENBs, they changed the way Skyrim and Fallout looks dramatically. Now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm running a GTX 1070, and I'm not getting 60 frames per second. Why? Because I'm running an ENB. Unfortunately, it's pretty common. It's just how it works. It's very common for ENBs to not function correctly, or to suck up frames. So let's go ahead and let's book. I'm not even worried about running right now. Fuck it. You can push the events. I think I pushed this one a little too soon. Alright guys, I apologize for that. Skyrim crashed, and unfortunately that's kind of one of the parts of modding. So you're going to see a weird hiccup in the video just for a short moment, but we're back. You have to watch this bullshit again, but you know, when you're modding, it's going to crash. It's unfortunate, but it's going to, so we'll get through the intro and then we'll check everything indoors. Well, but before we do that, let's make sure it remembered that. Okay, it did. Cool. Wanted to be sure that, you know, lighting was all the way down. ENB's still running. That's good. Let's see if I can even change this bitch.
It's nothing. Carry on.
As we commend your
60.00.
For the love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over.
Just apply them changes and see if it helps. Because normally you can fuck around with it. I wouldn't fuck with wait busy render. You don't want to fuck around with that. By the way, this does freeze the game up, but only for a moment. No, it didn't actually do anything. It even reset it, so that's not fucking functioning. And like I said, it depends upon the fucking mod, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn the lens on because I like the lens. We're going to go ahead and turn that on because I like that too. Reflection cat. No, okay, so that's actually giving me an issue. It seems like this ENB is actually problematic. I might have to go with a different one. Anyway. That's alright, we're doing things to burn through the intro, right? But as you see, like, if you press the Alt-Enter... Oh, by the way, if you ever want to turn your ENB off, Shift F12 turns it off, puts the game back in basically vanilla minus some of the lighting changes. You know, but like you see right here, you know, the depth of field, do this. Oh, it's gone. So if you ever want to fuck around with that, you can. When running Skse, hitting F12 will not take screenshots through Steam. And also, one thing you really want to be sure to do is you want to disable any Steam overlays or anything like that, or any old game overlays for that matter, because an overlay can completely fuck up an ENB. Okay? So, make sure you turn those off. Alright. So now that we're back here where we were before the game crashed. Perfect. So moving, and I actually got I changed my macros while I was at it just to be sure. And I'm on fire. Now, you're supposed to follow Ralph, but what you can do here is you walk upstairs, boom, he punches through, then you jump inside the hut. Okay, run down. There's Hadvar and the kid. Just keep running. Run past the dragon on the left. Because you hear him scream, stay close to the wall. Just keep running. Keep running until you're out of stamina. Okay, now you get around this corner. Dragon's fucking shit up. He'll land right there on the wall. But you can push the events. Because there's Ralph. And there's Hadvar. And I always go here just because... It's not an Imperial thing, it's not a Stormcloak thing, it's a blacksmith thing, okay? People say, well, you're picking the Imperials. No, Hadvar's uncle is the blacksmith, so obviously I want the free blacksmithing materials, okay? But anyway, we're indoors. So you cut the fucking bindings off me so we can do a quick test of the lighting. Now, as you can see, I don't have any lighting mods installed yet. We haven't installed those yet. All we have right now is the ENB with the changes to the INI. So this is still technically vanilla Skyrim. Only difference is there's an ENB installed. It still has the horrible, and I do mean horrible UI. It is the worst UI they've ever come up with. I mean, seriously. So we will install Sky UI and everything else, but there you go. This is the ENB, this is Skyrim, alright? So I would definitely say this is a great place to end for our first video. before we do any combat or anything like that, I'm going to hit save the game. Definitely check out the rest of the videos, guys. Please go to the shop. Check out the merchandise there. There's some Steve merchandise. There's the Evil Breed merchandise. And I guarantee there'll be some Skyrim stuff too, you know, for my modding channel. Alright, so thank you guys very, very much for being part of my community. Please hit that subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber. Lots more of these videos to come in the future. More World of Warcraft Gold Guides. I'm going to be shooting a new one tomorrow and uploading it on Saturday night, Sunday morning. Alright? Thank you guys very much, and you have a wonderful night.